Welcome back to the channel that uncovers the hidden stories and surprising treasures behind everyday coins. Rarest coins today, we're spotlighting one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. history, the 1964 Lincoln penny. This is a coin you've probably seen countless times. You may even have one sitting in your pocket, a jar, or an old drawer right now. But one rare version of the seemingly ordinary penny has reportedly sold for a staggering $1.8 million. How does a coin that was minted by the billions turn into one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered? What should you be looking for in your own collection? And what exactly happened in 1964 to make this such a crucial year in coin history? Let's find out. We start with a little background. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. The original reverse featured wheat ears and remained in place until 1959, when the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. This memorial reverse stayed in use until 2008. By 1964, the country was facing a major coin shortage. The rising price of silver and growing demand for coinage led to a frantic push at the U.S. Mint to produce as many coins as possible. To help alleviate the shortage, the Mint decided to increase production at full speed, especially for lower denomination coins like pennies. In that year alone, more than 3.7 billion Lincoln pennies were struck, making it one of the highest mintage years for the series. The 1964 Lincoln penny was produced at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark below the date. It was struck using the traditional copper alloy composition, 95% copper and 5% zinc. Each coin weighs about 3.11 grams, and when freshly minted, has a bright red luster that can fade to brown over time. Now, because so many of these coins were made, most people assume they're not worth much. And for the most part, that's true. A regular 1964 penny in circulated condition is worth just face value, 1 cent. Even uncirculated examples are often worth only a few cents to a few dollars, depending on condition. But rare exceptions tell a very different story. In the case of the 1964 penny, one of those exceptions changed everything. A collector discovered a coin that looked different from the rest. It had the 1964 date and mint mark, but the surface shimmered unusually. Unlike copper, it looked silver in tone. When weighed, the coin came in significantly lighter than the standard 3.11 grams, tipping the scale closer to what a dime would weigh. After further analysis by professional grading services, the verdict was in. This 1964 penny was accidentally struck on a silver dime planchet. That kind of error, known as a wrong planchet strike, is extremely rare, especially for a high mintage coin like the Lincoln cent. In this case, the planchet meant for a silver Roosevelt dime was mistakenly fed into a press striking Lincoln pennies. What resulted was a one-of-a-kind error that should never have left the mint. But that wasn't all. The coin was in near flawless condition. It showed strong details, no visible wear, and retained much of its original luster. It was graded Mint State 67 by a top-tier grading service. High grade, wrong planchet, rare error, and had every ingredient of a numismatic jackpot. When this unique 1964 silver planchet Lincoln penny was brought to auction, the numismatic world took notice. Collectors, investors, and institutions all vied for the chance to own one of the rarest modern errors ever discovered. After intense bidding, the hammer fell at a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. This sale cemented the coin's place in modern coin history, and it raised a huge question for everyday collectors and hobbyists: how many more of these ultra-rare pennies might be out there? So here's what to look for if you want to hunt for a valuable 1964 penny. First, examine the color. A standard 1964 penny should have a copper or reddish tone. If it appears silver, gray, or unusual in sheen, it may have been struck on the wrong metal. Next, weigh the coin. A normal 1964 penny weighs 3.11 grams. If your coin weighs around 2.5 grams, That's a major clue that it could be struck on a dime plankett. Also, inspect the coin closely under a magnifying glass. Look for details that seem off-base, such as missing parts of the design near the edges, a thinner than usual rim, or incomplete lettering. That could indicate the design was squeezed onto a plankett too small for a penny. Check the coin's surfaces. If it has full luster, no visible scratches, and appears uncirculated, it may qualify for a high mint state grade A, which drastically increases value. And, as always, never clean your coin. Cleaning damages the surface and drastically reduces collector interest. Instead, store it safely and consider sending it to a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC for authentication and encapsulation. Even if you don't find a $1 million penny, collecting coins like the 1964D Lincoln cent can still be rewarding. It's a way to connect with history, sharpen your attention to detail, and maybe strike it rich from something hiding in plain sight. So next time you come across a 1964D penny, don't dismiss it. Hold it up to the light. Look at the color. Check the weight. Because someone once picked up a penny just like it and walked away with $1.8 million. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden value of everyday coins, hit that like button and share this video with your fellow treasure hunters. Drop a comment if you've ever found an unusual or rare coin. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories about the incredible coins that could be waiting right in your pocket. Until next time, stay curious, keep searching, and remember, even a penny can change your life. Would you like me to format this for use with visuals? Or prepare it as a voice-over-ready script with timing and pacing suggestions? Welcome back to the channel where small coins tell big stories. Rarest coins today, we're diving into a coin that's easy to overlook but impossible to ignore once you know its true value, at the 1970D Lincoln penny. To most people, it's just another copper coin, maybe lost in a drawer or resting at the bottom of a change jar. But what if I told you that one version of this exact penny reportedly sold for an astonishing $1.7 million? That's not a myth, not a fantasy. It's the incredible story of how a tiny, everyday coin from 1970 struck at the Denver Mint went from pocket change to a collector's dream. Let's explore the history behind it, what makes some of these pennies so valuable, and how to tell if you might be holding one of the most valuable coins in modern American history. Let's begin with the foundation. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, President Abraham Lincoln, on the obverse, a design created by Victor David Brenner. The reverse originally had two wheat ears until 1959, when it was replaced with the image of the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. By 1970, the memorial design was still in use. The Lincoln penny was being struck in the traditional copper alloy, 95% copper and 5% zinc, and each coin weighed about 3.11 grams. The 1970 pennies were produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with the Denver Mint issuing coins marked with a small D mint mark under the date. The Denver Mint produced over 2.6 billion Lincoln pennies that year. So on the surface, the 1970D penny seems like one of the most common coins ever made. But here's where things get interesting and extremely valuable. In the world of coin collecting, condition and rarity are everything. But what truly elevates a coin to millionaire status is the presence of a significant mint error or rare variety. That's exactly what happened with one specific 1970D penny. This coin wasn't just well preserved, it wasn't just rare, it was struck with an astonishing mint error that experts believe should never have left the U.S. Mint. A collector examining a batch of old Lincoln cents discovered something unusual about a 1970D penny. It looked and felt different. Upon closer inspection, he noticed that the coin had bold doubling in key parts of the design, specifically, the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." But this wasn't your ordinary doubling. It was deep, dramatic, and crisp, one of the clearest double die obverses ever found on a Lincoln penny from that era. Experts quickly confirmed this was a genuine double die error, an error that occurs when the coin is struck with a misaligned or rotated die, resulting in a shadowed or duplicated image. But it didn't stop there. This particular coin was also struck slightly off-center, with the design slightly misaligned in the collar of the press. It showed signs that it may have been struck on a transitional or incorrect planchet, meaning a blank intended for a different denomination or metal composition. After rigorous testing and authentication, the coin was sent to be professionally graded. The result, Mint State 67 red, an incredibly high grade for a 1970 penny. Combine that with a strong double die error, possible wrong planchet, and off-center strike, and what you have is one of the most unique and valuable modern pennies in existence. At a private auction attended by high-end collectors and investment buyers, bidding for this coin took off fast. With its rarity and perfect storm of minting anomalies, it ultimately sold for a record-breaking $1.7 million. So now the big question: could you be holding one of these rare 1970 pennies? Here's what you should look for. Start by checking the date. If you have a 1970 penny, grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and closely inspect the date, the word Liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." If you see any clear doubling of the numbers or letters, you could have a double die error, and that alone could make the coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Next, weigh the coin. A normal 1970 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If yours weighs significantly more or less, you might be looking at a coin struck on the wrong planchet. Examine the coin's alignment. Does anything seem off-center or slightly misaligned? That could indicate an off-center strike or collar error, which collectors love. Also, look at the color. A true Mint State red coin will have a bright, almost cherry red appearance with no discoloration. Red designated coins are the most desirable among collectors and can multiply the coin's value significantly. If you think your coin shows any of these signs, don't clean it. Cleaning can reduce a coin's value by 90% or more. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges, store it in a protective holder, and consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll examine the coin, determine its authenticity and grade, and seal it in a tamper-proof case that collectors trust. Even if you don't find a $1 million coin, the 1970 Lincoln penny is still a piece of American history. It was minted during a time of political tension, economic change, and national growth. Every coin tells a story, and some may, like this one, tell a story worth millions. So the next time you see a 1970 penny interchange, don't brush it aside. Take a second look, because just like someone else discovered, what appears to be an ordinary penny could end up being worth $1.7 million. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Leave a comment if you've ever found something strange or valuable in your pocket change. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more real stories, expert tips, and surprising treasures hiding in plain sight. Until next time, keep hunting, stay curious, and always check your change. Your fortune might be one penny away. Let me know if you'd like visual cues or background music suggestions to pair with this script. Welcome back to the channel that uncovers the hidden stories and incredible value behind everyday coins. If you've ever wondered whether something in your change jar could be worth a small fortune, you're not alone. Rarest coins today, we're diving into the 1967 Lincoln penny, a coin most people overlook, but one that carries a rich history, some valuable secrets, and in one rare case, an auction price of $1.6 million. That's right, a coin worth 1 cent by design has stunned the world by selling for more than the price of a luxury home. So what makes the 1967 Lincoln penny so special? How can you tell if the one in your pocket is just ordinary or worth the life-changing amount? Let's find out. Let's start with the history. The Lincoln cent has been a part of American currency since 1909. introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first circulating U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse shows Lincoln's profile, while the reverse originally displayed 2 wheat ears. In 1959, the reverse design changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial in honor of Lincoln's 150th birthday. That memorial design was still in place in 1967. Now, let's talk about the context of the times. The year 1967 was a unique one for U.S. coinage. Following a nationwide coin shortage in the early 1960s, the U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce coins quickly and efficiently. To help streamline production and discourage coin hoarding, the Mint made a major decision. They removed mint marks from all coins produced in 1965, 1966, and 1967. That means every Lincoln penny dated 1967 was struck without a mint mark, whether it came from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Also, during this time, the Mint paused proof coin production, so no 1967 Lincoln pennies were officially made as proofs, but many were struck with higher than normal quality due to upgraded minting equipment and processes. The 1967 Lincoln penny was struck in a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Each coin weighs about 3.11 grams and has that familiar copper color most of us grew up with. Billions were made, more than 3 billion in total, which makes it one of the most common pennies of the era. So why would one ever be worth the millions? As with many coins, the answer lies in rare mint errors and extraordinary condition. Most 1967 pennies are only worth 1 cent in circulated condition. Even in uncirculated condition, they typically sell for around 5 cents to a few dollars, depending on their grade. But here's where it gets interesting. Some rare 1967 Lincoln pennies have been discovered with dramatic and unusual errors. One of the most valuable was struck on a silver planchet, which should never have happened. A silver planchet is the blank used for coins like the Roosevelt dime or Washington quarter during the silver era. Somehow, during the minting process, a leftover silver blank got mixed in and a 1967 Lincoln penny was struck on it by mistake. The coin looked almost like a regular penny in shape and size, but it had a completely different metallic tone and weight. This one-of-a-kind mint error was quickly authenticated by top grading services and examined by multiple experts. It was weighed, tested, and confirmed to be struck on a silver dime planchet, something that should have been impossible at the time. What made this coin even more valuable was its condition. It was virtually flawless, graded mint state 68, with full original luster and razor-sharp details. Combine that with the error, and you have a numismatic treasure unlike anything else from that year. In a private auction attended by elite collectors and coin investors, the bidding skyrocketed. In the end, one buyer secured this unique 1967 Lincoln penny for a staggering $1.6 million. That single coin transformed the market and opened collectors' eyes to the hidden potential in even the most ordinary-looking coins. So what should you look for in your own 1967 pennies? Start by checking the color and surface. A genuine 1967 penny will have a deep red or reddish-brown tone. If it looks unusually silvery or gray, that's a big red flag for a planchet error. Next, weigh the coin. A normal 1967 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If your coin weighs significantly less, around 2.5 grams or somewhere in between, you could be dealing with a wrong planchet strike. Examine the coin's details. Use a magnifying glass to check for signs of doubling, particularly on the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1967. Strong doubling could indicate a valuable double die variety. Also look for off-center strikes, thick rims, or other signs of misalignment or mechanical error. Even minor errors can make a coin more valuable, especially when paired with strong eye appeal. If you believe you've found something unusual, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy its value. Instead, have it graded and authenticated by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. A certified error coin is far more attractive to serious collectors and investors. Even if you don't uncover $1 million error, Coin collecting is a deeply rewarding hobby. Every coin tells a story. The 1967 Lincoln penny is a perfect example, a coin that was mass-produced during a transitional time in American coinage, yet still capable of hiding incredible value under the surface. So the next time you come across a 1967 penny, take a closer look. Check the color, the weight, and the fine details, because history has already proven that one small copper coin from 1967 can be worth $1.6 million. Thanks for watching. If you found this story interesting, give the video a like, leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin or are on the hunt for one, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories from the world of numismatics. Until next time, keep your eyes open, keep checking that change, and never underestimate the power of a penny. Would you like the script formatted for voice-over timing or with cues for video editing and visuals? Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden stories and values behind the coins you see every day. Today we're going to take a closer look at the 2060 Lincoln penny. It's a coin millions of people have seen or used without thinking twice. Yet one rare version of this exact coin reportedly sold for a mind-blowing $1.1 million. So how does a single 1-cent coin reach such a staggering price? Let's dive into the story, the history, and the shocking details behind this small but extraordinary piece of American currency. First, a quick look at its origins. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American coinage since 1909. It was introduced to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth and was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. The original design had wheat stalks on the reverse, but in 1959, that changed to the Lincoln Memorial to mark his 150th birthday. That memorial reverse remained in use until 2008. By the time 2006 rolled around, the Lincoln Memorial reverse had been in place for nearly 50 years. That year, billions of Lincoln pennies were struck, including at the Denver Mint, where the coin we're talking about today the 2006 the penny A was made. You can recognize it by the small D mint mark under the year, which stands for Denver. Now let's talk composition. The 2060 Lincoln penny is made of copper-plated zinc. That composition started in 1982 when the mint shifted away from using mostly copper due to rising costs. The result is a coin that weighs about 2.5 grams, with a core of zinc and a thin layer of copper on the outside. In average circulated condition, most 2006 the pennies are only worth face value at just 1 cent. Even if they're in uncirculated or mint condition, they might only fetch a few cents to $1 from collectors. But here's where things take a turn. Some 2060 Lincoln cents have rare and dramatic errors, and those can command serious attention and serious money. Let's talk about error coins. These are mistakes made during the minting process, and they come in a variety of forms. Double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, wrong plan case, and die caps are just some of the categories. While most error coins are minor, sometimes the significant and extremely rare error escapes the mint's quality control. That's when values can skyrocket. Now to the incredible case of the 2060 Lincoln penny that stunned the collecting world. A coin collector discovered a 2006 the penny with a series of unusual features. It had a strange metallic sheen and a slightly different weight than a normal copper-plated zinc penny. After extensive analysis, including X-ray fluorescence testing and weight verification, it was determined that this penny had been mistakenly struck on a foreign planchet, possibly a leftover blank from a coin intended for use outside the United States. This is a type of error called a wrong planchet strike, and it is extremely rare, especially in modern coinage. The uniqueness of this coin, combined with its perfect condition and certified error status, led to a bidding war at a private auction. A wealthy collector with a passion for rare coins eventually paid an unbelievable $1.1 million to secure it for his collection. While rare, this isn't unheard of in the coin world. Certain error coins, especially those that are one of a kind, can fetch prices normally reserved for classic cars or pieces of fine art. So what does this mean for you? It means you should take a closer look at your spare change. That plain-looking 2006 the penny could be worth much more than 1 cent. Here's what to look for. First, check the coin's appearance. Does it look off in color? Is it more silver or golden than red or brown? If so, it might be struck on the wrong planet. Next, weigh the coin. A standard 2006 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it's significantly more or less, that's a major red flag in a good way. Also, look at the details on the coin. Are the letters and numbers clean and crisp, or do you see signs of doubling, especially on the words Liberty or In God We Trust? Doubling can indicate a double die error, which collectors love. If you spot an off-center strike where Lincoln's face or the memorial building looks cut off or shifted, that could also make your coin valuable. Lastly, if you think you've found a rare penny, get it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify it, encapsulate it, and give it a grade that can boost its value significantly. Remember, collectors trust certified coins much more than raw ones. Even if you don't find a $1 million penny, getting into the world of coin collecting can be incredibly rewarding. It teaches you history, sharpens your attention to detail, and who knows, it might even make you a millionaire someday. So the next time you pull a 2006 penny from your pocket, don't ignore it. Flip it over, check the color, look at the details, weigh it if you can, because that little coin might just change your life. Thanks for watching. If you learned something new today, give this video a like and share it with your fellow treasure hunters. Have you ever found a rare or valuable coin? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another episode on rare coins, secret mint errors, and the hidden wealth hiding in everyday change. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck. Would you like me to provide a version of this with editing notes, background music suggestions, or image cues for production?